Whoa. If that is not a view, I don't know what is. Good morning, everybody. It's day 4, about 8:20, and back on trail. Today we're shooting for our Woods Hole Shelter, which is about 12 miles from Gooch Gap. Oh, sorry, Gooch Mountain Shelter. Gooch Gap is 2 miles ahead. That will leave us another 4 miles or 6 miles, I think. I think it's 4 miles to Neil's Gap. Blood Mountain being the main obstacle for tomorrow. That has an elevation of, I think, 4,400 feet. Got a bunch of nice folks at the shelter today. Whole lot hammock camping. There were a total of 6 hammocks, 2 tents, and 2 gentlemen sleeping in the shelter. Really nice, fun bunch. And what do you know? I underestimated the amount of food that I needed to pack. And 2 of the hammock campers were packing out today. They were at the end of their trip. So they gave me, I think, a breakfast skillet, a Cliff Bar, pack of coconut oil, and a Luna Bar. So if I didn't get that, I would have had to hitch into Dahlonega, and that would take up at least, I don't know, 2-3 hours at least. That would mean I would reach Woods Hole Shelter after dark, my guess, because there is a lot of elevation gain today. I guess this is Gooch Gap. I was actually targeting this yesterday, but decided to just hit the shelter. It's okay, there's a decent amount of trees to hang from, fire pit. But unless you're chasing miles, just camp at the shelter. But they did say this is a popular place for trail magic. At this time of year though, it's probably not likely to see any. Well, there might not be a lot of red in the trees. Fall colors this year is quite muted. But at least there's some on the ground. It's nice. So this is a nice structure. My guess the tree roots from this fairly large tree was coming out over the trail, and they had to box it in to make it easier for hikers to cross over and not fall down a long way down there. But yeah, that's a nice way to overcome an obstacle. You can imagine getting these tree trunks into position down here on such a steep slope was no easy task. The trail maintainers are truly a fantastic bunch. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thanks again. Well, we're heading up to Cedar Ledges, which is about a 200-foot climb. We'll see where that takes us. Okay, so we've come up to one of the first actual proper views of the trail. My God, is it spectacular. Check that out. Isn't that amazing? And this is the view from the top of Ramrock Mountain. It's a hell of a view. Okay, so after Ramrock is Big Cedar Ledges, and I'll turn you around now. It's a nice stone staircase, but it's more than 500 feet elevation gain in about 2 miles. So it's going to be a tough one, but I'm sure the view is going to be worth it. So onwards and upwards. Wow, Woody Gap is busy. I guess a lot of people leave their cars here, like Jalapa and Extreme. Then they hike these trails and come back, I guess. That's a big place. Some parking. And would you check that out? It even has a view. Alright, so Woody Gap has a toilet, or a restroom as some people call it. Let's have a look. It's a composting one as well. Not the cleanest. I guess it's okay. Picnic tables. And this is the Chattahoochee Oni National Forest. That's nice. Oh, and one more thing. There's places to dump your trash everywhere, which is absolutely fantastic. So we are entering the Blood Mountain Wilderness. Just got out of Woody Gap. Gerard Gap is 5.6, Neil's Gap is 10.8, and Blood Mountain in 9. Anyway, that's something for tomorrow. Nice cute little squirrel there. According to gut hooks, I'm 0.2 away from Big Cedar Ledges, but coming up to the, I guess, almost top of the hill, mountain, are these rock formations. Quite cool. It's an interesting climb. Man, that was a climb, but I think it's gonna live up to it. Whoa. If that is not a view, I don't know what is. There's a whole bunch of ladybugs out here. There's a number of them on the rock face. I found one on my pack coming up. Interesting. Good to know. Ladybugs are good. That's an interesting tree. So the Chattahoochee National Forest trails thus far have been very rocky, so it looks rather flat here, but under the leaves and stuff there's always this little rocks that poke up, something like this, that'll poke your foot. Makes progress a little bit more tiring and I guess a little bit more painful. And I don't know if it's just my imagination, but somehow the trail here feels a little less well maintained. Maybe it's because of the terrain, I don't know. But anyway, still gunning for the shelter. Got probably 3 miles more. Man, I wonder what lives in there. So I came across this gem of an example, and here we can see what basically allows trees to grow so tall. Lignin, which forms these tall, long, rigid structures along which the wood has fractured, evolved, don't hold me to this, but about 360 million years ago. At that point in time, this was a game changer because all that existed at that point in time were like ferns and other soft-bodied plants. But once lignin came into the picture, height that was achievable by plants skyrocketed. Isn't this a pretty sight? We're about half a mile from Jarrett's Gap and just under 2 miles to Woods Hole Shelter. I know the video doesn't do justice, but it's really something. That's a seat if I ever saw one. Thank you, trail builders. You guys are seriously the best. So, this is your climb up Blood Mountain. It's after Jarrett's Gap. Incline is not too bad, but if at the end of the day, after walking through all those rocks and roots, it's tiring. I've got just under 2 miles of this, I'm guessing straight up, until I reach the turnoff for Woods Hole Shelter, which is 0.4 off trail. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, if the terrain changes, I'll bring you back so you know what it's like. So my trail heads there, and Blood Mountain is supposed to be the highest mountain in Georgia. And way over there is a mountain that looks really, really tall. Can't imagine walking there. I don't think that's a mile. I think that's way more. But anyway, I'm gonna have to put on my raincoat now, my rain jacket, because down the trail looks pretty windy. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a false summit. And Blood has a number of these. Shortly it's going to pick up and start going uphill again. So the incline I showed you just now, it's basically that the entire way, all the way, I guess, to the top of Blood Mountain. So at my current pace, it's 0.7 more, I don't know, 20-30 minutes more at least for me, because it's 0.7 to the junction and another 0.4 in, so it's actually a mile, 1.1 miles. Alright, so hopefully there's light when I reach the shelter, so I can show all you nice folks what it's all about, at least my take on it. And tomorrow will be Blood Mountain Shelter, which is a stone shelter, the first one on the AT, and that will be a treat. Hopefully we'll be up there in time for sunrise, which oddly enough Google said it's like 7:02 or something, which is rather late. We'll try to get there earlier. Check that out. The sky is on fire. My gosh, that's beautiful. Just met a true hiker heading straight to Amicalola tonight, 24-hour challenge. Wish him all the best. I'm sure he'll make it. He was the first one wearing a kilt. Alright, onwards to Woods Hole. And now we are hiking by moonlight. Trail is still, yeah, my phone doesn't do well in the dark, but I can still see perfectly fine. No problem. And yeah, probably about 0.3 to go. So I'm cooking up dinner, courtesy of Yalapi and Extreme. Forever Young mac and cheese, 2 cups of water on the boil, and I have the run of the entire shelter. Awesome, isn't it? Well, it has pros and cons. With nobody around, I can do whatever I want, but it's always nice to have people around to chit chat. Right? Waiting for that water to boil.